What is going on, guys? We're gonna discuss the Immortal Air Aura Regulator. If you're unfamiliar with Immortal Air, they make tanks and regulators, so tank company. Immortal Air is owned by Dan Colby. Dan Colby has been in paintball for a very, very long time. He started Air America way back in the day, maybe like 25-ish years ago. Air America is now out of business, but they were one of the very first compressed air tank regulator companies. They made like the Apocalypse and Armageddon. They were very, very popular and made extremely good air systems. So when Immortal launched their products, it was kind of cool. It was like, oh, that's pretty sweet. Air America's back. But one of the things that they'd been touting about their regulators was that it gets 30% increased efficiency compared to their competition. That was always something I was a little skeptical about. I was like, how can a regulator increase efficiency by 30%? So yeah, I was wondering that. So I bought an Immortal Air Aura regulator, and we're gonna test efficiency. So Immortal Air regulators. Immortal offers two different style regulators. They offer that Aura regulator, like the one I got, and the Tellus regulator, that's a higher end version that has a rotational bonnet somewhat like the Ninja Pro regulators. So yeah, two regulators. I was waiting for the Tellus reg, and I don't know, they just never got it in stock, so that's why we're doing an Aura reg test. When you order the regulators, you can choose which output pressure you want, and I ordered that Aura regulator at 550 PSI output pressure. Let's go over like what I did to actually test this thing. So I got that brand new Aura reg outputting at 550. Also got a brand new standard Ninja regulator that I adjusted the output pressure to be 550. A Bob Long G6R that I just serviced, set pressures, changed O-rings. It's not leaking, works perfect. I have two cases of Valken Graffiti that I slightly underbored to a 682 with a freak barrel kit. A Ninja 6845 bottle, and just the bottle, not the regulator. I want to use the same bottle over and over so that, I don't know, there's no discrepancy in size. Who knows, there could be a 68 that's like a 70 or something like that. So we're using the same bottle to get the same volume of air every time. Got a very large Ashcroft gauge, so that's gonna be very accurate. When I'm looking at actual tank pressure, the Ashcroft gauges and that larger gauge are gonna give me a more accurate representation of how full the tank actually is. And then I'm gonna use that gauge over and over. So like when I'm done with the Ninja reg, I'll take that gauge off, put it on the Immortal reg, and yeah, use that gauge just to kind of like, I don't know, eliminate any variances that are in gauges. So let's explain how I determined how many shots each regulator to get. So let's say with the Ninja regulator, and the same thing is gonna be true with that Immortal Air reg. So tank, right? We have first Ninja with that standard Ninja regulator outputting at 550, that big gauge on there so I can accurately see pressure. Filled that tank up to 2000 PSI, let it sit for about 45 minutes to make sure the tank was cool, and then bumped the pressure up a little bit to make sure it was at 2000 PSI. Took one shot over the chronograph, and it was 280 because I kind of preset it before, and then just started shooting, but super slow. So like, dink, dink, about 2 balls a second, just because I don't want the tank to get really cold, and then that air contract, and then not really get so much of an accurate reading on the gauge. And then when the gauge reached 1000, that's how many shots I got with the Ninja reg. And then I repeated that process 2 separate times. So I filled the tank back up to 2000 and then just reshot paintballs until I reached 1000 PSI. And then I did the same thing with the Immortal reg, like filling it to 2000, letting it cool, topping it off a little bit, shooting it down to 1000. Yeah, repeated the process 3 times, but I didn't ever have to change the velocity. Like I thought I might, I kind of thought about it, but luckily enough, it shot about 280 again with the Immortal Air reg on. That's likely just because of the exact same output pressure. So I feel like I took care of enough variables as possible. Like I used the same bottle, made sure tank pressure was as accurate as I could read it, output pressure was accurate, used the same gun, used the same paint, used the same barrel. So I don't know what else I could have done. I also say I did this inside too, so temperature never changed. So really we're checking to see if Immortal's claim to 30% improved efficiency is actually real. And nope. At least for me, it was not. So on average, at 1000 PSI on that 68 tank, the Ninja regulator got 479 shots, and the Immortal Air Aura regulator got 512 shots. So yeah, an improvement, but not even like close to 30% improvement. That's a 6.26% improvement. Good, but I mean, like, not crazy. So in order to get that like 30% improved efficiency, at least when we're comparing the standard Ninja regulators to the Immortal Air or regulator, you'd have to get 623 shots. Like, that's a big ass difference. 479 to 623, that's a noticeable improvement. And I guess 30% is a noticeable improvement. But that's not what I saw. I mean, I saw like 6.5% improvement in air efficiency. And yeah, like, that's better, but I don't know if it's necessarily worth going out and buying an Immortal Air reg. Maybe like if you need a regulator, go for it. But I don't know if it's worth the money, at least to me, for that extra 6.5% improved efficiency. And that's all I tested though. I just tested air efficiency, mainly because that's what they're saying. They're making that claim that they're getting better air efficiency. I didn't test like velocity, consistency, or any of that stuff. Just if it was more air efficient. And yeah, technically it was, but nothing close to that 30%. Guys, I don't even know if you really wanted to see this video, but it's been something that I was curious about for the past couple years. What do you think? Leave me a comment below. Should we do more of these?